Why do we have to go and revenge? What is the talk about Suarez? Suarez doesn't need to apologize to us. One, Uruguay beat us in 2010 to win and progress to the semi-finals. We lost. That is the story. There is nothing beyond it. No matter how painful that story was, Uruguay beat us to progress to the next stage of the World Cup. Why do we need to call on Suarez to revenge on Suarez, or call on him to apologize? Then we have to call on Portugal to apologize to us because they beat us in 2014 World Cup. We have to call on Zambia. We have to call on Ivory Coast. All the teams that are beating us in crucial games to apologize when we meet them. This is football. I think that if we are not careful, and people always say, oh, this is not about the players, it's about the fans saying it. Look, when the Black Stars suddenly dropped or declined, it was not because we did not have players. At some point, it is the energy and conversations by the fans that is able to instigate the sort of passion and style of play of the players. And you all know, when a club is in form and you see the energy of the fans, it literally translates into how the players play. So you cannot say, oh, the fans here, we have to say whatever we want. We have to play against Uruguay and plan in a style to be able to get the points that we need. A point or points. At the end of the day, if we win, we have, I don't know how to put it, but we have applied, or we have also retaliated in a sense that they will feel the pain. If we do not win, that will mean that we had not prepared adequately for this game. And we had only prepared because we want to go and beat Suarez, who may not even be an influential part of the team. So this is simply it. Otuado must go into the game thinking that we are playing against a World Cup opponent who we don't have any idea about, whose players we have read and profiled and analyzed, and upon this that we are going to play technically. Nothing from 2010 will work. First of all, Suarez had already had an interview saying they have beaten Ghana and they know how to beat Ghana. They have beaten Portugal before, they have beaten South Korea before, they were not able to beat South Korea. They know that when it comes to African teams, the mentality of our teams, I mean, mostly we are very weak when it comes to mentality, when it comes to dealing with psychology. So everybody would want to start the pre-match game psychology. The talks should be about how to unsettle them, how to frustrate them, how to leave them distracted, and then we can pounce. Anybody who is watching the game from Ghana will say, if Uruguay scored the first goal, hey, these people have done it to us again. We will never forget them. Meanwhile, the game is not over. So they want this kind of stories and tricks and schemes and plotting to get to Ghanaians. And when it gets to Ghanaians, the energy will automatically transmit to the players on the field. It happens. It is part of football. You can never discount the fact that whatever the fans discuss, what the fans want, in a way influences the outcome of matches by how the players will play. So I just entreat the officials to know that Uruguay and Luis Suarez do not owe Ghana any apology. And we do not have to aver or go into the game to inflict any sort of revenge. We cannot go into the game with the thinking that we are going to inflict. So there's one popular saying that I always want to repeat. We don't go into a football match saying we are going to do a miracle. If you know that you are going to do a miracle, then it's not a miracle. Miracles are things that are not planned. Miracles are things that are supernatural. There are things that's seen as an upset. There are things that is not taught. So if you are going into the game knowing that you are going to cause a miracle, then it's not a miracle. It is destined to happen. So we do not have to plan and say we are going to revenge against Uruguay. We are going to inflict a painful revenge. That will mean that you already know the result of the game, which we do not. The game is unpredictable. This will be one of the most difficult games we have played at the World Cup. An Uruguayan side staring at an elimination from the group stage upon all what they've done and the quality players they have, coming up against Ghana, a team that they have played before. So they are the ones that are below us. We are superior. They are inferior in terms of the points accumulation. So we do not have to go into the game playing to the mind games of Uruguay. We don't have to. And I'm sure that Utuado and his boys are well aware of what I'm saying and will not let this influence or have any sort of bad energy on the team. And we have to go into the game planning strategically, scheming to be able to do what the Uruguayans think they will be able to do to us. That is the only way we can be able to come out victorious. We need a draw or a win to be able to qualify. We do not have to rush into the game to go and punish Luis Suarez. He's done nothing to Ghanaians. He only helped his team in a manner that a lot of Ghanaian players would have done same when the opportunity is presented to them. So this is why I just had to come live and then discuss a lot of these matters surrounding the Ghana versus Uruguay game. So I can see that a lot of people are watching. If anybody has a question before I wrap up on this Ghana Uruguay and whether Suarez needs to apologize to us or not, can just if there's any question you would want me to touch on before I end. So briefly, if there is any question from anyone watching, I'll be waiting to answer them and then proceed. Maybe we try and preview the game in the evening, and also for our viewers who are not based in Ghana and who've not had the opportunity of hearing from us. So if anybody has a question, I'll be answering them in the next 2 or 3 minutes, then we end this live show. Okay, which approach do you think Ghana needs, attack or defend? I've watched Ghana's 2 games, and a lot of people seem to be quiet, be sitting on tenterhooks when we start. That is how I envisaged Ghana's campaign to be. We do not have a very solid team. And I say team, we have players, but we do not have a team yet. And it's good that Otuado is gradually building a very solid team. The approach should always be that we are a team that is weaker coming into the World Cup. And how the boys defend, it's very impeccable. How they defend, how they are able to soak the pressure early on. We did against Portugal, we did against South Korea. Even though, it puts people in a lot of anxiety, the tension is there, they are still defending. But I believe that this is the best way for us to go into the game. Not go into the game with the thinking that we need to beat them. Calm down, slow the pace of the game, and restart with pace when you need to. We have very fast wingers and right backs. We have very fast midfielders in Kudus and the others. We have players who can dribble and turn around the game or just change transition within the blink of an eye. So we have all the guys in the center of the field, very solid defenders, and Partey with Salisu have been the steel, the wall, in front of the defense. They have done well, and they protect this for more than 15-20 minutes of the game when we start before we settle. The only important thing is that we do not concede, but the approach should be the same approach we have used in the previous 2 games. Learn how the opponent will come into the game. Study it, prepare your game plan, or if you have your game plan, go into the game with it by not hurriedly going in for goals and exposing your real. That would be very dangerous. Well said. At times we as Ghanaians talk too much. Let's forget about Suarez. It's difficult to forget, but we have to pray that we do not let this have any influence on the game. We don't have to let this get any influence. And if Suarez plays, I'm pretty sure that he will be trying as much as possible to score a goal against Ghana to validate what he did in 2010. And if he comes into the game with that mentality, our defenders need to be very strong in dealing with him, because that guy is a demon. That guy is an absolute monster when he needs a goal. Even though he doesn't have the energy, he can just conjure within a minute to fight like a lion and get the goal. And he knows that a goal from him, Luis Suarez, will all kill the ambitions of Ghana in the game psychologically. And they have planned all this. Uruguay has mastered the dark arts. How they've managed to turn the pressure, that's Michael Baden, exactly what I'm saying. They have a way of calling that in their native Uruguay. They have a native name of that. They are a very small country, very little population, but They are very good at football, and they are very robust and aggressive style of football. I think the attention and pressure should be on Ghana dealing with Fede Valverde's long drives and energy and his incisive passes. These are the players that we need to deal with, and their aerial ability. We know how they are very strong aerially. These are things that we should be talking about. Nkwasi Fogu Parliament, interesting name. I say hi Saddick. How about the referee who took the first penalty against Ghana? Has FIFA sanctioned him yet? Well, that referee has not been given any game yet. Per my checks, he's not officiated any game yet, and he's not on the roster. I don't know if he's been suspended, but everything points to the fact that he's not been given a game yet. I don't know, but there was a Ghanaian former FIFA referee who was saying that what he did was tantamount to being sacked. So definitely, let's see what happens.